Ktxl Virtual Channel. A new UHF digital channel 40 is a Fox-affiliated television station located in Sacramento, California, United States. The station is owned by the Tribune Broadcasting subsidiary of the Tribune Media Company. Ktxl maintains studio facilities located on Fruitridge Road on the southern side of Sacramento, and its transmitter is located near Walnut Grove. History: the UHF Channel 40 frequency in Sacramento was first occupied by KCCC-TV, which signed on in September 1953. It was affiliated with all four television networks of the time: ABC, CBS, NBC and the Dumont Television Network. KCCC's first broadcast was the 1953 World Series between the New York Yankees and the Brooklyn Dodgers. The station became a primary ABC affiliate by 1955, after KCRA-TV and KBET-TV signed on, respectively, taking over NBC in CBS full-time, and dropped Dumont after that network folded in 1956. It was the Sacramento-Stockton Modesto area's first television station. However, as a UHF station, it suffered in the ratings because television sets were not required to incorporate UHF tuning until the All-Channel Receiver Act went into effect in 1964. Although its fate was sealed when the first VHF stations signed on in the area, it managed to hang on until 1957. The ABC affiliation moved to KOVR after KCCC-TV and KOVR reached an agreement to merge operations and turn over the KCCC license to the Federal Communications Commission. The former KCCC-TV studios and transmitting facilities were then sold to a group of broadcasters who applied for a new license, returning Channel 40 to the air in 1959 as KVUE, broadcasting from studios near the old California State Fairgrounds off Stockton Boulevard. The station operated for just under 5 months before also falling silent. The KVUE call letters now reside on the ABC affiliate in Austin, Texas. As an independent station, in 1963, KVUE attempted to file for a license renewal even though the station had been off the air for more than 3 years. Camellia City Telecasters, a group headed by Jack Matonga, a former owner and co-founder of radio station KGMS, filed an application with the FCC to build a station on Channel 40 as a challenge to the KVUE renewal, and was granted the license in early 1965. Ktxl first signed on the air on October 26, 1968, operating as an independent station for nearly the first 2 decades of its existence. It was then branded as TV40. The station gained a huge advantage early on when its original owner won the local syndication rights to a massive number of movies, including classic and contemporary films. At one point, it had one of the largest film libraries in the Sacramento area. In addition, Ktxl ventured into in-house productions, such as the children's program Captain Mitch, horror movie host Bob Wilkins, and Big Time Wrestling. The latter show aired until 1979, and was syndicated to several stations in California, Utah, Alaska, and Hawaii. Channel 40 was one of the few stations to hold syndicated rights to the entire Merry Melodies Looney Tunes cartoon libraries. In 1977, Ktxl began a summer tradition by showcasing critically acclaimed classic feature films in annual Summer Film Festival presentations. Channel 40 made television history in 1981 by broadcasting the 1978 film The Deer Hunter unedited with potentially objectionable material intact. This policy has been restricted somewhat in recent years. All of this made Ktxl one of the leading independent stations in the western United States. It also attained regional superstation status via microwave relay to nearly every cable system in Northern California, including the San Francisco Bay Area and Fresno, as well as several cable systems in Oregon, Nevada, Utah, Idaho and Montana. Ktxl began transmitting its signal from a 2,000-foot monster tower near Walnut Grove in October 1985, significantly increasing its signal strength and adding stereo capability. Initially, the station would only turn on the stereo feed during programming broadcast in the audio format. This sometimes resulted in the staff forgetting to turn it on right at the beginning of a stereo program. Fox Affiliation. On October 9, 1986, Ktxl became a charter affiliate of the upstart Fox network, and eventually started branding as Fox 40 on air. The following year, Camellia City Telecasters sold Ktxl to Renaissance Broadcasting. While most Fox affiliates since the mid-1990s have shifted away from running classic sitcoms and cartoons, to run syndicated talk shows on the daytime schedules, until recently, Ktxl was among a few stations to be an exception to this status. The daytime lineup continued to feature sitcoms well into the 2000s, even still holding syndication rights to The Andy Griffith Show after many decades. Though many shows from the 1980s and 1990s were featured on the schedule, a few talk show, reality series and court shows also populated the lineup, in place of the station's own children's lineup after Captain Mitch's retirement. The station aired programming from Fox Kids until the network eliminated the weekday afternoon block in September 2002. The Saturday morning lineup was retained as it began being programmed by 4Kids Entertainment that year until Fox dropped children's programming from its schedule in November 2008. Ktxl, along with NBC affiliate KCRA-TV, are the only Sacramento television stations to have never changed their network affiliations, as they were unaffected by affiliation swaps in 1995 and 1998. Ktxl was acquired by Tribune Broadcasting following the company's purchase of Renaissance Broadcasting in 1996. Digital television. Digital channels. On January 1, 2011, Ktxl became a charter affiliate of Tribune-owned classic television network Antenna TV. Upon its launch, it is carried on digital sub-channel 40.2, analog to digital conversion. In November 1999, Ktxl installed the first full-powered digital television transmitter in the Sacramento market, operating on UHF channel 55. Ktxl shut down its analog signal over UHF channel 40 on June 12, 2009, as part of the federally mandated transition from analog to digital television. The station's digital signal relocated from its pre-transition UHF channel 55, which was among the high-band UHF channels that were removed from broadcasting use as a result of the transition, to its analog-era UHF channel 40 for post-transition operations. With the transition, the height of the station's transmitter tower was increased to 2,030 feet. News operation. In 1974, Ktxl became the first station in the Sacramento market to carry a primetime newscast titled The 10 O'Clock News, originally airing only 5 days a week, before later expanding to a nightly newscast. The program's original anchor team consisted of news anchor Dave Preston, weather and news anchor Jan Jeffries, and sports anchor Ken Chimblin. After Preston left for unknown unknown reasons, Jeffries was named primary anchor, with weather anchors substituting. Other news and sports anchors continued the format until 1979, when the newscast was revived by Pete Wilson as News Plus, in a format that went beyond regular newscasts. Such anchor teams as Andy Asher and Regina Campbell, and later Lorraine Woodward and Ted Mullins, helmed the now hour-long newscast until Ktxl joined Fox in 1986, and evolved into the current format of what is now Fox 40 News at 10. Ktxl's main newscast competition at 10 o'clock p.m. includes an in-house newscast on CBS-owned KOVR and a KCRA-produced half-hour news program on KQCA. Channel 40 ranks number 1 in the ratings among the 18 to 49 adult demographic, and often comes in first or second in overall viewership at 10 p.m. In the summer of 2005, Ktxl debuted a weekday morning newscast, which originally ran for 2 hours from 6 to 8 a.m., and primarily competes opposite KMAX's Good Day Sacramento in the first hour of KQCA's morning newscast. On September 8, 2008, the newscast was reformatted to Fox 40 Live and was expanded to 4.5 hours from 4:30 to 9 a.m. The station hired well-known former Sacramento morning radio personality Paul Robbins as anchor, and introduced a new news set adorned with flat screens and an accompanying kitchen set. On September 14, 2009, Ktxl debuted both a midday newscast at 11 o'clock a.m. weekdays and an early evening newscast at 5:30 p.m. on weeknights to its schedule. This was later followed by the addition of a half-hour 6 p.m. newscast in September 2012. For over a decade, Fox has motivated its affiliates and stations to increase local news programming. Ktxl and Tribune's other Fox stations did not follow this request until September 2009, when most of the stations expanded the newscasts into midday and early evening time slots. On January 7, 2010, beginning with its 10 o'clock p.m. newscast, Ktxl became the fourth station in the Sacramento market to begin broadcasting its local newscasts in high definition. It was the first television station in the market to provide news video from the field in true high definition, as Ktxl upgraded its vehicles, satellite truck, studio and field cameras and other equipment in order to broadcast news footage from the field in high definition, in addition to segments broadcast from the main studio. This is in contrast to KCRA and KXTV, both of whom broadcast the field reports in widescreen standard definition. On November 4, 2013, Ktxl expanded its weekday evening news block to 90 minutes with the addition of a half-hour 5 p.m. newscast. Notable former on-air staff: Mike Bond, reporter; Thomas Drayton, anchor; Michelle Franson, reporter; Fillon, anchor; Adam Housley, reporter; Gary Radnick, sports anchor; Pete Wilson, News Plus creator, co-anchor; Monica Woods, chief meteorologist. Controversy: Noda Kumaratashvili crash video. On February 12, 2010, Ktxl was one of the first media outlets to obtain a video copy of a luge accident that occurred during the 2010 Winter Olympics, which resulted in the death of luger Noda Kumaratashvili. Ktxl made the editorial decision to post the video in its website, ahead of several major national and international outlets. The video clip raised some debate among journalism critics and editorial boards at several several news organizations as to whether the footage should have been broadcast or posted online at all. In an interview with the Seattle Post-Intelligencer, a Ktxl staff member cited fair use as the decision to post the clip on the website after questions arose about the safety of the luge track. The station also ran the complete footage during its 5:30 p.m. newscast that evening. The video was later distributed by Ktxl to several other Tribune-owned websites. During Ktxl's broadcast of Miss Universe 2015, the show was cut off at 10 p.m. in order to start FOX 40 News at 10. This meant viewers in the Sacramento market were unable to see the apology and crowning of the winner. In addition, the newscast that followed made no mention of the incident at the pageant.